Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video. We're having a look at the ECMWF extended model for today's second video. So this is your 30-day/6 weeks look ahead for the UK and for the rest of Europe as well. And I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say that the first video today was the 6 AM upload on a 10 to 14 day with all of the regular features coming up for you later on this afternoon. So please like, share and subscribe on those videos, and thank you so much everybody for doing that. Right, so you'll start off with week 1 mean sea level pressure anomaly for Europe. This is taking us through the coming week, the 30th of January to 6th of February. We're going to have a lot of high pressure dominating across western and southwestern parts of Europe. There's a trough of low pressure in the far north and northeast, extending down the eastern side of Europe as well. Jet stream and wind flow is going to be doing something a little bit like that. Having a look at the 500 millibar heights, looks like this. So low pressure across much of northern, eastern, northeastern and southeastern Europe, with high pressure dominating out in the west. Again, see the cold air will be digging down through that northern and eastern side of Europe potentially. So the temperature anomaly for this week looks like that. Quite cold in the southeastern part of Europe, so from the Black Sea southwards it's cold, particularly to Greece and Turkey, but also covering parts of the Balkans as well. The north and northeast of Europe actually really quite mild, as is much of western Europe as well. So all the way from the UK and Ireland right way over towards the Russian border in the east. It looks quite cold through there. Spain and Portugal into southern France with below average temperatures. Northern France, mild average. Most of Germany, the Low Countries, Poland, over toward northern parts of Ukraine as well. Looking at the Baltic Sea states of Latvia, Estonia and Lithuania. They're looking mild too. The central bowl of the Med, near normal temperatures there, but overall you can see that like southern Europe does actually look relatively cold or cool really, from Spain, Portugal over to Greece and Turkey. Many areas are coming out below average. It does extend up into the Balkans as well, but go further north and man, it's looking generally mild in the weekend. Precipitation wise, we look like this. So the driest weather is in the west and the southwest, so through the UK, through Ireland, through France, Spain, Portugal, and into central part of bed towards Italy and over the Adriatic toward the Balkans. That's where the driest weather is. Further east of that, it's more showery through the eastern part of the Mediterranean, particularly so the Greek islands. Remember, wettest weather is in the north, of those southern parts of Norway and Sweden are a little bit drier than average, but generally Scandinavia looking quite unsettled, and much of the eastern and northeast Europe as well looking unsettled. Poland, for example, up to the Baltic Sea states, Latvia, Estonia and Lithuania having above average precipitation this week. Week 2 will take us from the 6th to the 13th of February. So that's how it looks. High pressure still dominating really across many western parts of Europe, also extending into central parts of Europe as well. Some lower pressure towards Greenland and Iceland, but jet stream is being pushed northwards a little bit like that. The 500 millibar height anomaly shows above average heights dominating across much of northern and western Europe, so plenty of high pressure there. Trough of low pressure in the east and the southeast Europe. That's where the coldest weather is likely to be, I think, with that trough of low. Temperature anomaly show a proper northwest-southeast split, so above average temperatures for much of northern and western Europe, colder than average for much of southern, particularly southeastern Europe. So the coldest temperatures are through Greece and Turkey, just to the south of Italy, and also into the Balkans as well. Balkan winter well and truly established there. Further north, we have above average temperatures, especially through Scandinavia. Much of Poland, Germany, the Low Countries, Belgium, Holland, Netherlands, and UK and Ireland with above average temperatures. France is nearer normal, so it looks colder in the south of France, maybe milder in the north. And then these colder temperatures are extending up towards the Black Sea as well. The Baltic Sea states are looking generally still quite mild as well, with Latvia, Estonia and Lithuania. The precipitation anomaly looks like that, generally drier than normal in many parts of Europe actually, so right away from France, Spain, Portugal in the west, over towards the Black Sea in the east. Most areas are coming out dry and average, so the Black Sea itself is actually rather wet. Northwards to southern parts of Scandinavia, it's drier than normal through there and around the Baltic Sea states, a little bit On the dry side, Norway looks wetter, as does Western Scotland, and possibly Ireland as well, looking quite wet. But most parts of Europe, dominated by the high pressure, are dry. Week 3 will be the 13th to the 20th of February. Still with high pressure dominating across much of Europe. Low pressure in the far north of the Atlantic, heading to Scandinavia. Jet stream is doing something like that. The 500 millibar height anomaly, again showing me below average heights around Greenland, Iceland and into the North Atlantic. The above average heights further southwards. And again, winds are coming in from that west to southwesterly direction. Temperature anomalies remain very mild across most parts of Europe for week 3, especially northern Europe, looking really mild through Scandinavia and the Baltic Sea states. But most areas with above average temperatures have to go to the extreme southeast of Europe, like Greece, Turkey, and actually over into the Middle East, to find the colder than average temperature anomalies. Most places looking very, very mild there for the third week, and precipitation-wise, so it looks relatively unsettled for northern Europe, above average precipitation through Scandinavia, and also above average rainfall for the UK and Ireland. Bear in mind, those temperatures are anomalies to average, so in northern Scandinavia is still likely to be snow rather than rain, but rain across more southern parts of Sweden, for example. Going further south, lots of dry weather through southern France, Spain, Portugal, most parts of the Med looking very dry as well. Into the far east, southeast Europe looks pretty dry through those areas too. Week 4 will be the 20th to 27th of February. High pressure still rooted and anchored across the western side of Europe and in some central parts of Europe as well. Some lower pressure in the far northeast, but jet stream going to be doing something a little bit like that. The 500 millibar height anomaly again is showing above average heights across western parts of Europe. Loads of dry weather there. Below average heights in the extreme northeast of Europe with that particular trough of low. The temperature anomaly remains very mild. It's going to be exceptionally mild February for most parts of Europe, to be honest, particularly the north and the western part of Europe. Always colder over in the far eastern, southeastern part of Europe, so it will be quite cold there, but most parts of Europe are actually looking very mild through this February, and that carries on into the fourth week. And precipitation-wise, it's very dry again across many of these western and southwest regions, a little bit wetter in the far north and northeast. Right, that's your 30-day look ahead. Let's just go through weeks 5 and 6 data before we go, because why not? So week 5 will be the 27th of February to the 6th of March. There it is, weakening signals, very much so. So let's just put in a couple of question marks, because I'm not sure what's happening there. 500 millibar height shows still some above average heights across western parts of Europe, but again, it is a weakening and a diminishing signal. Temperature is still generally mild in most areas into the beginning of March, and precipitation anomalies weakening still, but probably still a hint of being dry and average in the west, a little bit wetter in the far east and northeast maybe. And then week 6 will be the 6th to the 13th of March. That's how it looks. Again, very, very weak signals. So once more, why not just put in a couple of question marks? We'll go to the 500 millibar height, see what they're doing. They look quite mysterious. There is some higher pressure building within the northern latitudes, Ben, but of course it's 6 weeks away. It's a very weak signal anyway with that for week 6. Temperature anomalies still generally milder than average in most areas, and precipitation anomalies look like that. Very, very weak signals, nothing useful to be deciphered there. Right, so we've got a very, very mild February coming up if the EC extended is right this week. And there we go. So just a snapshot of what money show. It could look completely different when we look at it again next week. Any forecast beyond 5-7 days comes with big hail warnings and large pinches of salt attacks, but that's how it's looking this week. We're going to be back later on with your 10 to 14 day, so come back for that then. For this week's EC Extended European Outlook, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.